P, wait.
PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Prone to serious depression, pain that seldom dwindles, processing the same day, plaguing the soul, drowning, plaguing the sounds daily. Poor times seem definite, pessimism that seems deadly, perpetually torturous, strikingly demonic, passion terminated, seemingly destitute. Pouring, tears streaming down, perusing the sorrowful darkness, photographic, the static dimension, pass through Satan's doorway, past the sour diesel, prescribed 37 drugs. Pilsner, tequila, sangria, diazepam. Parched, taste sully, dry, pariah to society, derelict, prone to steady decline, praying that screams dissipate, prone to suicide, damned, primordial threat, safety diminished, peace threatened, seemingly dead, passion tranquilized, sudden demise, past the summit, dropping, plummeting, the soul deadens, praying that solitude dissolves. Hey everyone, my name is Jacob R. Moses. I am a poet, I am an educator, I am a spoken word artist from Staten Island, New York. And I'm definitely grateful to Andy for bringing me out here, and T literally for bringing me out here. I'm going to read some poems tonight, or afternoon going into evening anyway. This poem is called Pogrom. According to Google, a pogrom is defined as an organized massacre of a particular ethnic group, in particular that of Jewish people in Russia or Eastern Europe in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. I didn't want to write a poem about this. Would have rather forgotten the rage I felt due to microaggressions on 3 different fronts. Hoped I could hide the queer, hoped I could discuss the Jewish, hoped I could extinguish the bipolar. But Auschwitz was only liberated 80 years ago, and I had not forgotten and will never let my consciousness be tucked inside the trunk of a Mercedes-Benz. Even now, I am struggling to find words for my disgust, words for my mistrust of a national system that only sees me as a token unworthy of actual currency. Damned if I will continue to be a scapegoat sacrificed to an avaricious and pathetic excuse of a manufactured God. I yearn for blessings, long for affirmations that my life has even a minutia of a care. I no longer have the wherewithal to write stanzas of rebellion, for my biggest priority is trying not to die, trying not to suppress myself while seeming heteronormative in my exterior. And the inner dialogues occasionally voiced while in private chambers with the shadowboxing arena. Openly opposing orations of oracles, fulfilling a ministry, promoting a nationalistic agenda. Knowing I live in a borough that openly protested my right to march in a parade. Knowing that the same borough had swastikas sprayed on faces of Jewish politicians. Knowing that my reaction to potentially losing protection from discrimination could be a reason to change my diagnosis from bipolar to Felicia. Didn't want to write a poem about this, but every generation needs prophets, and within every prophet there is a poet. I am unsteady as I write this poem. I am not neat. I am not conventional. I am not serious. I will never move uniformly. I have been known to bend and curve. I ride waves prominent as those which emanate from my follicles. I will fit closely like a pair of skinny jeans. I take the long way to my intended destination. I take the meandering path to the spot marked by X. I exist in asymmetry. I thrive in chaos. I was not put on this earth to simply toe a line. I can never stop smoking pot and pretend I'm sober. I am slowly shifting away from the purely logical. I am not a sequence of cards. I am a complex holding complexes. I will evade those who think I will ever be hetero. I am not, have not been, nor will ever be straight. Beast mode. Was I branded from birth? 3 6s mark my identity. Whether demons manifest their trickery in my psyche is one thing, or if blessings are embedded in a 3-ring circus, whether the trio of perfect numbers truly showcases what it means to truly live. For the word lived is devil spelled in reverse. The Hebrew word for life is denoted by number 18, and for certain my life has been eventful, even with the branding, even with promises embedded in hieroglyphics. I'm still interpreting them, knowing that 3 stages of development and 6 days of work led to a resting spot. For certain, I'm still doing the work, still discovering the penmanship skills necessary to draw 3 solid lines in the sand, triangulating my troubles as iron pyramids transmute to gold cubes. 2 extra faces to the Gemini, 3 split personalities in one. Am I cursed? I know the answer. It's 3 6s of one and 3 half-dozens of the other. Amazed, but after 40 years, I can still nail my calculations, and now I need to apply this numbing solution to the area where my soul is dissected in this operation of obtaining order. They say the devil is in the details, and my double helixes are the blueprints measuring the dimensions of my horns. I'm still discovering my wingspan, knowing the only way to heaven is to fly, for a little rowboat won't get me to the reaches of eternal damnation. Maybe I am a fallen angel, but I could always get up. Yeah. If I should fall, don't know if I can rely on you after all is said and done. Nastiest things said to me have been exclaimed by you, and no doubt you see me as scum for all the mistakes I've made and all the adversity I've faced throughout the duration of my adulthood. If I should fall, I will drag you down in the same way you have with your resentments and your envy, and you know damn well you possess the venom of the snakes you embody. I was addicted to you, like nicotine, and you were a habit I needed to kick for you stifled my breathing. All the while you tried to save face while I saw the evil, saw the 7 sins, you dissolved the 7 seas. You will never value me. You will only see me as an obstacle in the same way you once saw me as a gateway to a land no poet has ever promised. There is no tomorrow for us, and a fortnight filled with empty apologies won't win me over. And to this day, I wonder if our friendship was genuine, or if I'm simply a scapegoat for your inadequacy. For certain, there will come a point where I can forgive you, but if I should fall from grace with God, I would flop like an asphyxiating fish, turn into a better version of myself as an angel, and bless the rivers on the shores of my meandering madness. And soon enough, I will stop wondering if you ever gave a crap about me. All right, two more right off the dome. This poem is called Touch the Sky. It's one of my signatures. Sunrises on Saturday mornings before networks and 24-hour programming are vast memories, sense of light and color from the test pattern, darkness eradicated at the age of 4. Infomercials with Richard Simmons outlined weight loss fallacies, crash diets, laxatives, vomiting, starve for a sense of belonging, excretion of identity, purging taboos of the psychic and psychotic. And then the colors of deal meal cards ease that need to nourish my spirit, quenching my thirst for love and wisdom. And in the morning I had no rooster to wake me, it was Tootie from the Home Shopping Club who woke me. Gold and emeralds eased by chaos, adoration adorned and fever fueled. Perceptions of color often defined the ColecoVision, Atari, Commodore, lower, higher contrast from reruns of I Love Lucy, The Twilight Zone, and The Honeymooners. And I crave boldness in those 8-bit rainbow skylines done injustice. 16 colors aren't enough. Impossible to fill in a 24-hour day with such restrictions. And I observe the sky through filters, none of which distort reality, but simply accentuate the vividness of heaven. And often I reminisce of 1985, the first time I had a numerical concept of a year, 4 years after my birth, 30 years prior to my father's passing. But these days, my eyes are hexadecimal algorithms Pantone has yet to develop, and my vision is HDMI. Pupils are my perspective, darkness, the onyx observation of loneliness and loss, my insatiable need to find a place within this infinite spectrum, my unfulfilled desire to belong. The wheel of fortune spins, luck is pressed. Come on, big money, big money, big money, big bucks, big bucks, big bucks, no rummies, no rummies, no rummies, no rummies, no rummies, stop! Pink hearts, orange stars, yellow moons, green clovers, blue diamonds, purple horseshoes, red balloons, pots of gold, rainbows, trees, blue moons, leprechaun hats, gold coins, shooting stars, crystal balls, hourglasses, keys. These are the talisman of morning magic, ambrosia of oats and marshmallows soaked in milk, but my lucky charms are my rods and cones. They allow me to admire these radiant symbols. All my photos evolved from mud, and this new set of colors is presently paradise, my heaven, my sky, my ether. Perhaps it demonstrates the incorporation of color destined to reach out. Perhaps it's friendlier than the earth upon which I stand. Perhaps I crave that which is limitless, for skies are not ceilings. The outside world is unconfined. My aura showcases skylines. Okay, I'm going to do one more. I am a native New Yorker, but one of my favorite poems, and one of my most sentimental poems, is about New Jersey. About a little place called Asbury Park. And this is called Palace Amusements. Asbury Park greets me within your thin-lipped, toothy smile. At the end of every labyrinth, you straddle the seashore's yen. You are a funhouse mirror distorting my figure, yet always finding abundant embodiment within my gut. My navel yearns for that connection to amusement within these vibrant walls. Love was the product of jackpots won from slot machines dispensing ducats. Tokens tossed from one hand, arm pulled by the other hand. You were the windfall stashed within this chest of hazy nostalgia. Adulthood proofs more haunting compared to the cart carrying me through those mysterious halls, wishing I could be hypnotized just so I could catch a spoonful of what once satiated my satisfaction One taste of the sacrament arrived from riding a roller coaster before it became a cliche denoting a diagnosis. Before mania surged through my synapses like a Jimi Hendrix guitar solo. After bumper cars foreshadowed the accidents I faced throughout these static frequencies of depression. If you were a Eucharist, I'd be an idolater. For you were the body of a God I tasted before knowing what it meant to be a righteous Jew. You were the excuse I needed to play hooky from Sunday school. You were the choir who greeted me before I possessed the voice to echo any calls I desperately needed to answer. You were the calming voice I needed before my own soothsaying emerged. Now the tongue with which I speak needs to taste the honey into which I dip my apple. Now the street stores nectar of passing years in a cloud, access via my digital thumbprint, repress via my carbon footprint. Pollen is carried by a generation of workers and drones. If I left an intention on my doorstep, I'd wish for it to be carried by the westerly wind. I'd hope the corners of the crown in my castle mirror this palace of amusements. I'd pray the pleasantries could be contained by the channels from which we feel joy. May our data be easy to transmit, even if our devices are outdated. May said devices be reused as analog anecdotes. Let them be paperweights for the childhoods we cherish, preserving a trail back to the inner offspring, struggling to spawn and survive. Before I get off stage, this is my book, Grimoire. I do have copies for sale in the corner over there. It's $10 a pop.
Only $10? That's basically free.
I really want that to be the case so bad.
I know that.
But $10, please come see me if you just need another book to read that is told in the form of a spell book. I can't promise that you'll turn into a bat that your mom would make.
Are you signing the copies?
I am in fact signing the copies as well.
Oh snap!
So $10 in a signature. Thank you.
All right.
Woo!